But first up today, did you know that this date, December 5th, 1933, marked the end of Prohibition and the birth of Repeal Day? In celebration, beverage director Steve Walton from Park City's High West Distillery in Utah, the reigning whiskey advocate distiller of the year, joins us here in Florida to help recreate whiskey-based cocktails. Good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to Florida.
Thank you for inviting us over.
I am so excited about this. I have not been to Utah, but I hear amazing stories. This is the time to go, and especially you're going to tell us where to go, right?
Absolutely. So, Park City is one of the only ski destinations within the United States. You can be off the plane and in the destination within 25 minutes. You can actually have your skis on within the hour. And ski season is open. It started.
It literally just opened.
It literally just opened on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we just got a nice, good dump of snow last night. So we are raring to go, and we can't wait for everybody to come see us.
Speaking of planes and flights, we hear that you can now get a one stop, right?
Absolutely. So Delta are flying direct from Tampa to Salt Lake City this month, running through the whole winter ski season. So you can pretty much, be on the plane, off the plane, on the ski slopes with, in hours,
That's awesome. All right, well, let's talk about what it is that you love there in Utah and what you brought for us today, because this is a big day in history, is it not?
Absolutely, yeah. So December the 5th is the day that Prohibition ended. And a lot of people don't know this, but Utah actually cast the 36th vote that actually ended Prohibition.
I did not.
So, Utah, is to thank for, for the fact that we can enjoy a tasty beverage right now.
Yeah. And thanks to you and your team, you're telling us how to enjoy it. So
Absolutely.
You're making two drinks for us today,
we are,
right,
yes.
Steve?
I'm making a classic cocktail, which is the Sazerac, which is a very
Sazerac,
which is a whiskey, kind of a stirred and strong whiskey-based cocktail. And then we also have the Dead Man's Boots, which is basically a signature cocktail with us at High West up in Park City. It won Best Cocktail of the Year for 3 years running.
All right, so we're going to make that one in a second.
Cocktail.
But the first one you said is a more classic one?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a bit more of a whiskey-forward cocktail, pre-Prohibition classic cocktail. So I thought with Repeal Day being today, we'll do the Sazerac and then a High West original.
Absolutely. All right, what goes into this?
Awesome, thank you. So we start off with 1.5 ounces of the High West Double Rye.
Talk a little bit about the whiskey. This is your whiskey, right?
Absolutely,
so talk a little bit about what makes this whiskey so special.
So obviously, we are one of the first legal distilleries in Utah, and
so you've been around for a while. You
coming up to 9 years, yeah. So we've won a few awards, and we're doing some great things out there.
What are you kind of putting in here? Sorry,
so
I'm asking you so many questions.
So we have our Double Rye and American Prairie. So we blend two different bourbons because in Utah the law doesn't allow us to put more than 1.5 ounces of one particular product in the drink itself. So we do 1.5 ounces of the Double Rye, which is a rye, and then 1.5 ounces of the American Prairie, which is a bourbon. So we're not putting the same ingredient into the cocktail.
Okay.
So one of the myths around Utah and their drinking laws is you can't get a good cocktail in the state of Utah. So basically we have to get a little bit creative, we have to do a few things, and we basically get you that good cocktail that you don't have. So one of the real things that we're trying to get across is the fact that you can get a good drink in the state of Utah, even though people think that you can't. You know? So that's one of the great things about what we do. And then the Dead Man's Boots, which is the next one that we're doing, has 1.5 ounces of our Double Rye, and then we add 1 ounce of Casa Noble Reposado
So
tequila.
is this one almost?
So this one's ready to go. I'm just going to build this guy over here.
Oh, you're making this is the Dead Man's Boots?
This is the Dead Man's Boots.
I just love the name.
And so tradition has it, it was a cocktail that was created prior to myself working at the distillery. But there was a pair of old boots that was in our general store. And one of our...
What dead man did they belong to?
Exactly, one of our employees, it was her husband's boots.
Oh, lovely.
And he, unfortunately, is no longer with us.
Oh, okay.
So the cocktail kind of got named after the Dead Man's Boots.
Okay. All righty. By the way, these recipes, we're going to make sure and put them on our website as well, so they're easier for you. And people can buy these here in your whiskeys here in the Bay Area.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So these are what we call the Core 4. So it's our Core 4 products that we have available all the time. We also call it the Cowboy Set, as we're kind of High West, we're Western, we've got that vibe. So here's our Dead Man's Boots.
Direct flights now happening. You can make your way to Utah. What'd you say? You can have your skis on, and in less than an hour once you land, come to the distillery. All right, you pour that one up. Well, thanks for coming to Florida. I hope we see you again soon, and we hope to maybe see you
Cheers.
in Utah. Thank you. Cheers.